fast count.
This some Prevo shit, huh? Lyrically immortal beast, redesign artistically. Ha, L-I-B-R-A. I just wanna get fly with you, so fly, so fly. Really just tryna get high with you, so high, so high. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. I just wanna get fly with you, with you, with you. Really just tryna get high with you, with you, with you. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. Footsteps on the big clouds, yeah, we here now, ain't coming down. Cause I hear the sound of the lighter flick sparking big clips. Took a big rip with a thick bitch and she fine too. About 5'2", doing something smooth, we can vibe too. Match my energy and you can slide through. I like different flavors, let me try you. I just need a taste of what you're really giving. Don't fight the temptation, baby, release and give in. Long as you stay loyal, we both gonna end up winning. And there was no question, I know you was down to ride by my side. Unique as a rose, for the ashes I rose. Straight from the gutter, I grew up in nose. When I made it out, I couldn't believe it. Look at the beauty outside of the streets. Mama just texted me, told me she proud of me. Your son doing better, my demon just danced with me. I'll never end up another Yumbler casualty. Value the life and energy surrounding me. But still, I just wanna get fly with you. So fly, so fly. Really just tryna get high with you. So high, so high. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. I just wanna get fly with you, with you, with you. Really just tryna get high with you, with you, with you. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. We can be like Eric and Donna from the 70s show. Maybe Monica and Chandler, keep it on the low. Ross and Rachel, fucker, we let everybody know. Millhouse and Lisa type shit, give us time to grow. Like the seeds that were planted right under the snow, give them 6 months. Ordinaries the glow from the sunshine. Greatness takes time. One conversation, it should be mine. Trying to have an answer, me not take from me, cause I'm whole already. But I'm also kinda damaged, I got hoes already. Still a fly young king, so the hoes already. Melody, sand wavy in the flow, with steady newbie swag with a little bit of mom spaghetti. There is a kind of lyrical, no, it's not a subliminal. Went from pissy elevators to smoking my swimming pools, and I made it out. Yeah, I struggle from time to time, but I'm happy now. Obstacles coming in, I see them, but I ain't backing down. Old homies that hated on me still coming back around, but I'm cool with it, cause we fly like paper, get high like planes. Sitting here laughing at all y'all lanes. I'm a beast unleashed, I can't be tamed, but you won't ever forget my name. L-I-B-R-A. I just wanna get fly with you. So fly, so fly. Really just tryna get high with you. So high, so high. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. I just wanna get fly with you, with you, with you. Really just tryna get high with you, with you, with you. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon.
Ladies.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
Ladies. And gentlemen. Boys. And girls. People of the internet. Planet Earth. In parts some might call unknown. It is time for episode 24 of season 5 of the House Divided podcast. Jordan, are you
Sure
here?
is.
Okay, there you are.
Sure am.
It took you a minute. It took you a minute. I may have definitely stopped mid-intro to take a drink of booze.
Well, it's understandable.
So, with that being said, where's the button? There it is. Yo, we're here. We are live. We got ourselves a show today, a Super Bowl preview show, in which, for the first time in my life, I have vested rooting interest and have a reason to stay up, other than the fact that it is the last football game of Well, until August. Last meaningful football game until late August.
I have to correct you there. The USFL starts in April.
Goodbye, everybody. That's the show.
Hey, the Michigan Panthers, man. They're our only hope here.
Which some people say they're not a team not a real team from Michigan because they haven't played a game in Michigan yet.
Well, as we've already been over, 7 of the 8 teams in the USFL won't be playing home games technically because it's all in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah. So we got ourselves a show. Let's jump right into it, shall we?
We got ourselves a segment.
Yeah. How many do you have for stupid people say stupid things?
Are you ready?
Yes.
1. But my 1
Is going to take longer than my 2?
yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Candidate. I don't know if anyone's gonna be more stupid than this because this person did one of the worst things you can do if you want to avoid being in this segment.
That's
double down.
He did he triple down?
Oh, he. Let's see here.
Don't tell me.
Okay.
I'll wait till we get to your turn. I'll start us off then.
He downed a few times.
Normally, whoever has the least goes first. But since yours might take that long.
So, this is mine is a whole fucking rabbit hole. There are 13 screenshots I have to tell the full story of this.
Jesus. Well, following my banner showing for Stupid People Say Stupid Things last week with 7.
What we believe is a record.
What could be a record. I only have 2 this week. We will start. This came on Sunday. From Twitter. Mississippi Oil Art on Twitter.
Not usually the account you would think you're going to hear the stupid from.
There's some stupid here because it's stupid in the fact that we're still arguing it.
Oh no.
Especially, it'll be even more stupid once you find out what it is.
I'm scared.
This came on a post relating to NASCAR on Twitter.
Oh boy.
Relating to one particular NASCAR driver.
Oh no.
Does anyone care to take a guess as to who this NASCAR driver is?
Given that they're in this segment, I don't think they're a Kyle Larson fan, so I'm going to say it's somebody hating on Bubba Wallace.
Ding, ding, ding. Mississippi Oil Art. And I don't actually have the original tweet. I just know it was about Bubba Wallace. Actually,
is it at Mississippi Oil Art?
It's at Mississippi Oil 1. Yeah. Mississippi Oil Art tweets.
Found him.
NASCAR gave him the Talladega win.
Oh boy.
And
I'm to the point with those that I literally just want to ask them, okay, like, can you name me some other drivers that have a rain shortened win the last few years? Because he's not the only one. He's just the only one that he cares about because, well, he doesn't jizz mayonnaise.
Yeah. My only thing on like why this made the segment is it's just like, why are we still talking about this?
Because so
Talladega was what, 6 months ago? That was 6 months ago.
October.
Oh, so not quite 6.
5.
Yeah, 5. Like,
Yeah, wow.
And I know why we're talking about it.
Well, what's so funny about the people...
And it makes me hate why we're talking about it.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I guess it's not really funny, but the thing is that the people that can't shut the fuck up about Bubba Wallace, about anything that he does...
Are the ones who hate him.
Well, are the same ones that comment on things, why are you shoving Bubba down our throat?
Oh, yeah, there is that too.
Yeah, it's like there you can have a post that has nothing to do with him, and like posts about Kurt Busch now that they're teammates. Oh, Kurt's a better driver now. I'm like, I'm not here to argue whether Kurt's a better driver or not. I mean, he is a champion and all.
Yeah.
But Kurt doesn't give a shit about any of this.
No. And my second one. Oh.
I hate NASCAR. I hate NASCAR fans so much.
My second one comes from, well, Twitter also.
Uh-oh.
This guy is... Twitter username is first name, last name, bunch of numbers.
I encountered one of those today.
Of course I did. Of course it's this. Of course it's this. Why is it always gotta be this?
It's this.
Why is it always...
Whatever this is.
Well, that's all I got. Let's go with it. We're going to talk about this subject later, at least I'm going to talk about this subject later. On Monday, the Ohio State University Buckeyes athletic department unveiled the new football field design. After 6 months of a design contest. The design that the Ohio State Athletic Department chose was the exact same one that the Buckeyes have had for the past 20 some odd years. Again,
despite a change in font and your sleeve stripe now being in the middle of the back line of the end zone.
Yeah. And the change in font was like barely noticeable.
I mean, yeah, it's there. It's noticeable, but it's not out there or anything. Still pretty basic fonts, both of them.
Yeah. This individual, first name, last name, bunch of numbers, on Twitter, tweeted, "Not enough in this world to be concerned about currently. We have a fan base pissed off because the brand new field design isn't fancy enough for them. You all need to grow up and get off the internet."
Hey, buddy, I don't think there's much to worry about on field right now.
Yeah, there isn't. And there is the fact that, hey, buddy, you are on the internet using Twitter. First off on this, I could speak for the overwhelming majority of Ohio State fans. We're not upset about the field design. It's a classic. You went with what we already know for a 100% fact. Looks good in person and looks good on TV. I'm all right with it.
So were you among the crowd that wanted the end zone to be gray?
No.
There were a lot of people that did. I don't know why. It's not your primary color.
No, I did not want the end zone to be gray. Really, the only thing that I wanted, had the end zone been gray, I wouldn't have hated it. I wouldn't have liked it. The only thing that I wanted, essentially, was just throw the outline of the state of Ohio around midfield, like they've done with
that looked pretty good.
Yeah, and then nothing else.
there were plenty of things going on, plenty of entries from people in this supposed design contest that did that.
Yeah.
Mine did not. Mine did not have the outline of the state of Ohio at midfield. It just had a picture of Brutus Buckeye in a paint me like one of your French girls looking position.
Mine had Turbo Yoda. That's the midfield logo.
Oh, and Urban Meyer in the end zone.
Yeah. That's really all I wanted though, was just throw the outline of the state of Ohio on the on midfield. Yeah, it'd take up like 20 yards. Take up from 40 to 40, but that's it.
Well, it looks like did they make the logo, the midfield logo, smaller?
It looks like they did a little bit.
Huh.
Majority of Ohio State fans are like me, where we don't care that this is what you did, but we went for 6 months every week from week 2 of the season.
I was gonna say, it's been a while.
Week 2 of the season, Ohio State's first home game. Every week until last Friday. Friday the 4th was the final day for submissions. Every single week we heard about, you can design your own, you could design the new artificial turf for Ohio Stadium. Every week Ohio State fans heard about it. Every week. And
then you basically did the same thing.
The athletic department just chose to pick what we had. No, people don't need to grow up, because people aren't really pissed. The only people who are like legitimately pissed off about this are probably the ones who wanted a red wanted the field to either be scarlet or full on gray.
Ugh.
Or to have Brutus Buckeye, the mascot, as the midfield logo.
Oh no. Like,
those people are probably upset that their design didn't win because they picked some atrocity.
I'm amazed that there was at least one scarlet field that made it into the final list of possibilities.
There was more than one.
Those are ridiculous looking. Now, personally, I would have loved if you guys had done that, because that would have been even more hideous than anything I've ever seen.
I would have hated it. There was one that alternated between every 5 yards they'd go gray, red, gray, red, gray, red, gray, all the way.
Oh, I saw that one. That was terrible.
There was one all gray one with red end zones.
Yep. Oh god.
There was one all scarlet one. There was one that looked semi-normal until you realized that there was a giant horseshoe at midfield, symbolizing the stadium. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 with Brutus as the midfield logo.
Oh.
There was some monstrosity with black end zones.
What? I didn't see that one.
In the black end zones, it said "Our Honor Defend," which is an Ohio State thing, on their fucking locker room wall, on the tunnel wall.
I saw that. So I had never seen that before.
Yep.
I saw it on a different submission, and I was like, "What in the grammar is this?"
That's on their. That's on the tunnel wall. That was in the end zone, and then across the entire field from goal line to goal line was the helmet stripe.
Oh, I'm looking at that one right now.
And then Script Ohio. Yep, that was one. There was all sorts of monstrosities.
That's wild.
All sorts of monstrosities.
What is this one?
There was
what is
one
on the field. Oh, they have the fucking Buckeye leaves behind the yard numbers.
Yep. There was one that had the helmet stripe from goal line to goal line again. The just Ohio State University logo that just Ohio State with a block O. and then in one end zone it said "the" in what looks to be your Comic Sans font.
I haven't seen. Oh no!
And then in the second in the other end zone it just says OSU.
They didn't even try.
And these are all final submissions.
Yeah, these were finalists.
Like there was let me see. There's a couple with gray end zones that I don't hate. Let's see.
That one's hilarious. The OSU.
Yeah.
With like no effort whatsoever. Like they just put the Ohio State logo on a gray background and plopped it in midfield over the helmet stripe.
Let's see. One.
What the hell is going on down in the bottom right-hand corner here?
I don't hate that one other than the end zones are something.
The end zones, you just can't read them. I think there's Buckeye Leafs behind a red font.
Yep, that one I hate.
You can't read it.
I forgot this one in the submissions. There's one that in the end zones there's just no coloring to the end zone, just white font in one end zone. Hang on. Midfield is Script Ohio as the midfield logo. In the other end zone, Sloopy is in the song Hang On Sloopy, the state song of Ohio. There was a lot of shitty ones. And we'll talk about this more later.
A lot of shitty ones.
But there were some good ones in here too. Like they threw just enough good ones in here where you're like, okay, this could be legit. I'm getting ahead of myself. First name, last name, bunch of numbers. You, sir, are a
loser
for telling people to get off the internet when you're tweeting on the internet. And assuming that people are mad just because the field isn't fancy enough. No, people aren't mad that the field's not fancy enough. People are mad about a 6-month-long charade.
To get the same thing that you already had.
Yeah. Alrighty. The floor is now yours.
Okay. As aforementioned, I have one stupid person saying a stupid thing this week. This man has, in his career, worked for Sports Illustrated.
Oh no.
Yahoo Sports.
Oh god, he's going down. He's going backwards.
The NFL Network up until recently.
Okay, that's a step up from Yahoo.
And
big step up.
Ready for his current employer?
Swear to God, if you say Outkick.
It's not Outkick. Bally Sports.
It's another step down.
The man that I am talking about today is Michael Silver.
Oh no.
Do you know what this is?
No, I don't, but oh no.
Michael Silver, currently of Bally Sports, tweeted on the 4th. What day was the 4th? We're on the 9th now. Last Friday.
Last Friday, yep.
After it was announced that the San Francisco 49ers were signing Anthony Lynn, who was the offensive coordinator of the Lions for about half of 2021, before Dan Campbell took over play calling and the team got much better.
Yep.
After the announcement of Anthony Lynn being, I think he's like an assistant head coach or something like that. I don't know what he is. He's not the offensive coordinator. I don't believe he's got like a lesser role. I don't know what his role in this
I'm gonna Google
is.
this. You keep going.
Michael Silver tweets on Friday, so to review, Dan Campbell thinks he's a better offensive mind than Anthony Lynn, but Kyle Shanahan wants Lynn's brain in his building, helping to cook up plays. Seems
oh God,
like Kyle,
I have seen this.
Seems like Kyle might know more, but shrug emoji. Okay.
It is assistant head coach.
Okay. And so there are many issues with what Michael Silver said here. The first of which being, and this is going to be a common thing, theme. People that replied to him, he just quote tweeted them and then blocked them.
Nice.
Fittingly enough. Patrick on Twitter pointed out, nobody is saying who the better offensive mind is, but it wasn't working and wasn't fitting with the Lions and Campbell, with what the Lions and Campbell wanted to do. The results for moving on from Anthony Lynn as play caller and moving on to Dan Campbell speak for themselves. The offense was terrible until Campbell took it over. And not saying it was great, but all of the wins were with Campbell as play caller. And Jared Goff looked much better. Michael Silver tweets, or just quote tweets the man, cool. Enjoy that. Somebody pointed out to him, the Lions offense literally got better when Campbell took it from Lynn, but continued to start your own narrative. And he came back with the biggest roast of all time. He probably thought he was so cool. I'm going to focus on teams that contend for titles, and you can assess my narrative for the time being. This is important later. Well, it's going to be important because, I mean,
But
I don't know if a certain team. I don't know if a certain team is going to be contending for titles anytime soon. So he can't talk about him if that's the case.
the 49ers aren't in contention for a title right now.
No, they're not. He just wanted to take a shot at Dan Campbell, like so many over the past year have wanted to do. And I don't care so much for the whole ratio thing on Twitter. The man got ratioed on every one of his tweets.
Nice.
Like, this was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. So then, Eric Schlitt, who I do believe works for Pride of Detroit, which is the SB Nation blog for the Lions,
Okay.
replied to him and said, imagine having a job that asks you to focus on 32 subjects, but you decide you're only going to focus on less than half, ignoring the rest, and still expect people to respect what you think. Pretty valid point, I would say.
Yeah, very valid.
And this is where this just gets insane.
I'm ready to press the button.
Eric Schlitt is a legitimate journalist.
Yes.
He writes for a blog.
Yeah.
Michael Silver quote tweets Eric and says, imagine being a make-believe journalist and getting this defensive about the team you love. So Michael Silver, I guess, just gets to define who and who isn't a journalist now? I guess that's what's happening. I don't know. Of course, people came after him and said, you can say that about every journalist that's a fan of any team. There's plenty of journalists that are fans.
Yeah.
Michael Silver quote tweets a man that said that apparently that's not possible. He says, no real journalist is a fan of any team in the sport he/she covers. Pro football, in this case, being the sport. I don't know why he decided to put that in parentheses. That's weird to me. And this is one of the few people that actually came in and tried to stick up for Michael Silver. And this is Matt Lombardo. Never heard of him before, but he's verified on Twitter.
Okay, good for him. Good for Matt.
Who is a journalist of some sorts. He just says, how is it so hard for people to understand that journalists aren't fans of teams? Would you like to know who Matt Lombardo writes for?
The Detroit Lions.
No, the specific organization, like the specific site.
Valley Sports.
Fansided.
Oh, even worse.
If you go to the Fansided Wikipedia page, Fansided is a fandom-focused sports, lifestyle, and entertainment network of more than 300 websites.
co-founded and launched in 2019 or in 2009.
Mm-hmm. And the best part about this whole journalists aren't fans of teams, he's a 49ers fan. And that is so abundantly clear that he shows a 49ers bias. It's so clear. This is from an article. I don't remember what he did to piss somebody off. This is from a few years back. This is on 49ers Web Zone, whatever the hell that is.
The fuck is that?
Oh, here we go. Michael
why
Silver
does it sound
of NFL.
useless?
It probably is useless. Michael Silver of NFL Network took some undeserving criticism from the Niner faithful for his comments earlier this month, saying that quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo was under increased pressure because the San Francisco 49ers really like backup Nick Mullins. What a time that was. Sometimes fans forget Silver's roots, growing up a fan of the 49ers and covering the team in the Bay Area for years before hitting the big time. The NFL Network analyst has always been very complimentary toward the franchise, head coach Kyle Shanahan, and yes, Garoppolo. So this is a 49ers website, not a very well-known one, but one nonetheless, that to stick up for Michael Silver after he got this totally unfair criticism from 49ers fans, he had to remind them that Silver's one of us. And don't give him shit. So, to the fact that he claims he's not a fan when it's so blatantly obvious, if you just look over his history, like, you want to know, and albeit he turned out to be right, but nobody saw this coming. You want to know who he thought was a real player that nobody thought was going to be a player in these playoffs here? The San Francisco 49ers. He predicted that back in August.
Oh, okay.
But of course he did, because it's his team.
Yeah.
Silver continues, I cover all 32 teams, but I tend to devote more attention to those that contend for championships. I talk to Lions players, coaches, and talent evaluators regularly and watch them a decent amount. Thanks for your interest. And that was to Nolan Bianchi, who's good writer for the Detroit area sports teams as well. One of my favorite follows on Twitter, Andy Isaac, says Eric Schlitt's pretty well liked both professionally and personally in this town. This tweet says a lot about you as a human being, and it's not good. That was in reply to the make-believe journalist tweet.
Oh, yeah.
This thread then just goes off the rails because we have so Dan Campbell came from the New Orleans Saints.
Yep.
He was on the staff with Sean Payton.
Yes.
And somebody tags Sean Payton, says, "Hey coach, can you weigh in here on Dan Campbell and what kind of person, coach, and intelligence?" What? Weigh in here on Dan Campbell and what kind of person, coach, and intelligence. Okay, that's just how it's written. Because Silver here is giving him some serious shit. Michael Silver says, Sean and I can work this out via text, but thanks for the snitch tag. And then replies to it, credit to Mina Kimes to introducing me to that blessed term.
What the fuck is it with everyone and wanting to bring Mina Kimes into shit?
I don't know. I mean, apparently that is something that she uses, but I don't think she even knows who you are, Michael. So you tagging this person is very, very strange.
Like, what the
It was at this point that there were some other tweets. He stopped retweeting people who were critical of him and calling him a dumbass, rightfully calling him a dumbass. It was at this point that he started retweeting the compliments to him. One from Michael Stone of 97 Won the Ticket, who got he's from Detroit, who got complete backlash on sticking up for him, you know, because everyone's calling him a hack, because he is. Everyone's saying nobody should take him seriously, because we don't. And
He definitely sounds like a guy I wouldn't take seriously.
Stoney decided to stick up for the man because he was on his show like 20 years ago. I don't know. So at that point, I just flipped my intentions to being one of the hundreds of Lions fans that got blocked by Michael Silver that day.
Nice.
I started out just calling him a hack on all of his posts. That didn't seem to work.
Damn it.
So we had to up the game a little bit. I may have swapped his face onto Pennywise the Clown. I may have done that.
Yes.
I might also have taken a screenshot from when he was on NFL Network from his office and face swapped Dan Campbell's face onto Michael Silver, which is a very frightening sight, but yet somehow more respectful looking than what he actually looks like. And of course, down in the bottom right-hand corner was Michael Silver's resume, which, had the NFL Network stuff, the Sports Illustrated, the Yahoo. That was just asking me to replace it with some nonsense, so that's what I did. Michael Silver, dishwasher at Chuck E. Cheese, sits when he pees, and just simply hack.
I gotta go find some of this on Twitter.
Finally, after a few of those, Michael Silver blocked me on Twitter about a day later. I was the happiest I had ever been. I was actively trying and I couldn't get blocked. I was replying to every single one of his tweets, just being a dick to the guy, and he wouldn't block me. Finally, he did. So naturally, the only thing left to do was go to Wikipedia and update the start of his Wikipedia page to it saying, Michael Silver is an American sportscaster and television analyst who currently calls Dan Campbell his daddy. It had to be done. Now, that didn't last very long. It was only up there a couple hours before somebody switched it back, but it was up there long enough for me to get a screenshot of it, so that's good enough for me. But Michael Silver, you are going to be very, very tough to beat in terms of stupid person of the year. So the final count here. The amount of tweets that he quote tweeted people, the amount of times. There's the original tweet, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there were more. There were plenty more, but it was these were the highlights. What would you call that?
Repeat the question.
What would you call somebody doubling down 7 times?
We have a button for that on this show.
Loser.
We have plenty of buttons for that on this show.
Loser.
I mean,
Loser.
any one of them could work. Problems could work.
Hang on. Soundboard. Where's it at?
This dude is
and then that one. I have that one too. Thank you, Stephen A. Smith, for saying things. I'm just...
This was just an adventure. Like, if anybody out there really doesn't understand Detroit versus everybody yet, this fan base has gone after some people for some unfair or really just going out of their way to criticize Dan Campbell. Like, Michael Silver's on that list now. Joy Taylor's on that list. That one motherfucker who had the weird name, who when Dan Campbell first got hired, brought up a sort of homophobic comment from Campbell like 20 years ago. And then it turned out that this man had homophobic, racist, misogynistic tweets within the last couple years. That guy's on there. I don't know who else. There's a few more. But these journalists, man, they don't have good days when they come after Dan Campbell, man. I swear. But that is stupid person saying a stupid thing. I guess
Let's move on to the news.
Good God. That was. I was surprised how long it took him to block me. I guess the dishwasher at Chuck E. Cheese one was really what did it.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Fair enough. He honestly does look better with Dan Campbell's face on him, though.
Oh my God. Alrighty.
The news.
We'll start with the Pro Bowl. Yes, the Pro Bowl. And it's being talked about in the news because, well, it's the Pro Bowl.
Why would we do a Pro Bowl recap? I didn't even watch the Pro Bowl. I only watched the highlights.
I didn't even really watch. Actually, I did watch a couple highlights. Not a lot, though. Well, the only notable thing that happened in this game was A.J. Cole, punter for the Raiders, his halftime stat line, which was 0 punts, 3 holds, and apparently 2 halftime hot dogs.
So this I did see in a video after the fact. Of course, they interviewed him on the sideline because what the hell else is he gonna do?
Yeah, he's the punter.
I don't remember who was coaching the AFC in the Pro Bowl, but they basically told him, "No, you ain't doing much today." I mean, at least they told him.
Yeah, and
so they interviewed him on the sideline, and he dropped that line. I have a very interesting halftime stat line: 0 punts, 3 holds, and 2 halftime hot dogs. Now, 2 halftime hot dogs is a bit of a weak number, but he's a punter. I get it.
Yeah, and then the other thing that happened in this game, Mac Jones was whistled down because, well, it's the Pro Bowl and no one actually tackles. It was essentially flag football, 2-hand touch, especially for the quarterbacks.
The wild thing is they hadn't even touched him yet.
They looked at him.
They looked at him. They were going to touch him. The whistle blows, and Mac just keeps on running.
Mac Jones ignored the whistle. He ran all the way to the end zone, and then he did the gritty.
Yes, he did, which was the whitest thing I've ever seen anybody do. Like, Justin Jefferson can do what he wants with the gritty and make it look good more often than not.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Mac Jones just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
Final score, AFC 41, the NFC 35. Reinforcing everything that we already knew, the NFC kind of sucks.
Well, and they were down huge in this game, but because it's the Pro Bowl, well, things happened.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a clown show, as it always is. Lot of the defensive players when they would pick, because there were a lot of interceptions in this game. The only time the players tried was when a defensive player had an interception and they were trying to return it.
Yeah.
The offensive players sure as hell were trying. And I don't blame them for not trying. I mean, it's the Pro Bowl. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, the fans don't care. The players don't care. Nobody cares. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, so why should you even... the people that, complain about, oh, these players don't give any effort. Okay, well, the stadium's half full. This game means nothing. What do you want them to try for?
It's half full when tickets are like $10.
Like, the event that we'll talk about later, the Clash at the Coliseum, I'm fairly certain, had more people. In fact, I will say that it did.
I wouldn't even say fairly certain they did.
I mean, the Pro Bowl attendance might actually be public. Let me see if I can look this up.
8 people. Anything else to add while you're looking that up?
I almost got it here. Maybe. If it's on ESPN anyway.
Yeah, this guy.
So they were actually fairly similar. I don't believe this number whatsoever because this stadium was half full. Says it was 86% full with 56,206, which would put them very, very close together. Both were in the 50,000 range. I don't believe there were 50,000 people there.
No.
I don't see it. There's no way. But yeah, no, that's all I got on the Pro Bowl. I didn't watch it. I don't care. It's the Pro Bowl. The NHL All-Star Game was more interesting.
Yeah. Let's move on. New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara was arrested at Allegiant Stadium after the Pro Bowl for assault and battery resulting in substantial bodily harm. Alvin Kamara and 3 other individuals involved with the running back allegedly assaulted a man at a Vegas casino, leading to the man losing consciousness and a orbital fracture to his left eye. Ouch, among other injuries. Kamara did admit to punching the man, saying the victim had called one of his friends ugly. What the fuck is this, grade school?
That's, dude, when I read that, that was my exact reaction. I was like, what? You gotta be kidding. Like, what is this? Is this like a high school dance? What are we doing?
And only started punching the man because he saw a fight break out and thought the man was trying to run away, which is something that is very much at odds with security footage of the incident.
Very much so.
The video security footage shows the man trying to get on an elevator with Alvin Kamara putting his hand on the guy's chest to stop him and then shoved him. One of Kamara's entourage punched the dude in the face. And then Alvin Kamara lunged at him, punched him 8 times, including 3 of those while the man was on the ground.
What are you doing? Alvin, I know you don't watch the podcast.
But what are you doing?
What are you doing? You're one of the best running backs in the league. You got a big time contract, and you're getting in fights at casinos because somebody called your friend ugly.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm going to just assume this was a late night incident.
I would assume so. Yeah, of course, this was the night before the Pro Bowl.
Oh, it was before?
It was before the Pro Bowl.
He was just arrested after the fact.
He was arrested because he was identified, and they let him play in the game, I guess. I don't know. But they met him at the stadium and arrested him there.
Jesus. So like I said, this most likely happened late into the night. All I'm gonna say is something that every football player and every athlete is told from high school all the way on through college, and most likely in the pros too. Nothing good happens after midnight. Nothing good happens after 11 o'clock.
Everyone's filled with buckberry juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I see some people trying to be like, well, this is what happens when you put the Pro Bowl in Las Vegas. It's the Pro Bowl. Everyone's out there having a good time, enjoying whatever city they're in, whether it's in Vegas or not. And that's not an excuse for what he did.
No, this has nothing to do with Vegas. This would if the Pro Bowl was still in Hawaii and Honolulu, I have a feeling something like this would have probably happened there. If it was in Orlando, would have happened in a bar in Orlando. Like, this would have happened.
I mean, Orlando's got, no city in the country has like a nightclub scene quite like Vegas, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
No.
Just because there's a shit ton of them doesn't mean that this couldn't have been a thing somewhere else.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with being in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas apparently does not stay in Vegas, because I think this is going to stick with Alvin Kamara here for a while now. And
another week, another shitty news story.
It bound to happen. Maybe next week we can get through the news without somebody getting arrested or somebody doing something shitty. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Doubtful. This season's just been cursed with shitty news stories ever since Bishop Sycamore.
Right, and that was like episode 2.
Yeah, once we reported Bishop Sycamore, everything just went downhill.
The curse of Bishop Sycamore
Lives on.
Apparently, it's a thing. One last thing before we can move on from this is this a way? Will the Saints see this as an out to cut Kamara? Because I doubt if they cut him, that with all this going on, that they would have to pay him. I don't think that they would. Do they see this as sort of an out to kind of claw their way out of cap hell?
It could be, but
I did tell you. I did tell you that what was the exact thing I said?
It'd be like putting
Kamara and his
a Family Dollar Band-Aid over a bullet wound.
Yeah, well, because Kamara accounts for $14 million against the cap. They are $61 million over the cap. Like, they're bringing in a new coach. We're gonna get to that in a second.
Yep.
Well, they hired a new coach internally. You don't back. Jameis Winston is fine, but do you really want to build around him long term? Like, just if you're the Saints, like, just get ahead of this and just rebuild it now.
They should.
No team does, though. Like, no team ever rebuilds at the right time. They always wait too long. But if I was in charge of the Saints, cut Kamara, trade Michael Thomas, just the fuck build.
Yeah.
That'd be the way I'd look at it.
Moving on, staying on the New Orleans Saints.
Some positive news about the Saints, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. The Saints promote.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Not sure how Saints fans feel about this.
Yeah, I don't either. The Saints promote defensive coordinator Dennis Allen into their vacant head coaching position. Dennis Allen has been on the Saints staff as the defensive coordinator since 2015.
Yeah, been there quite some time.
With some solid defenses.
Solid defenses. The team's been relatively successful. No championships in that time, but they've been fairly consistently in the playoffs. At least the last couple seasons, up until this year. I mean, that's just one of those ones where you have to wait and see. I mean, the guy's never been a head coach before. Did lead some good defenses, and
on paper, this seems like a solid hire.
Yeah, like we'll have to see. Like, I feel like this is just a switching up of philosophies for the Saints, because they've had Sean Payton for so long, who was an offensive guy, and now they get defensive Dennis Allen as head coach. So the Saints team that we know and some people love, probably not going to look like that in the coming years. And I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. They probably bring Jameis Winston back another year, maybe. Because he did get hurt this year and was decent at best when he was healthy. I mean, what's the harm in bringing Jameis back?
I mean, it doesn't hurt at any point.
Right. I mean, unless Tampa wants him back to replace Tom Brady.
Last bit of news.
That would be hilarious.
That would be comical. Last bit of news before we get into some NASCAR talk. The Houston Texans are hiring defensive coordinator Lovie Smith as their new head coach.
Hell yeah.
This makes that one dude on Twitter who didn't know who Lovie Smith was, a Texans fan on Twitter who didn't know who Lovie Smith was, makes him look even stupider because Lovie Smith was the Texans defensive coordinator.
Right. I don't know if he was a Texans fan or not. I believe he was.
I would assume so. Secondly, how do you not know the best beard in all of football?
I'm happy he kept that when he went to the Texans, because he was talking about he was going to shave it, but he didn't, thankfully.
Best beard in all of football.
Hopefully he keeps it. I love that thing. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's on screen right now. That beard is something else.
few more notes about Lovey. He was the head coach of the Illinois Fighting Illini from 2016 to 2020. He was NFL Coach of the Year in 2005. He led the Chicago Bears to the Super Bowl in 2006.
That he did.
He's a good head coach.
I've always liked Lovie Smith. I am amazed that he hasn't been an NFL head coach since. Like, the move to Illinois was always a curious one for me because I thought he could get an NFL head coaching job. Like, he did the best that he could with that Bears team. He was definitely a big part in their success, I feel. So yeah. The move to Illinois made no sense. And there were people trying to say, like, oh, this guy, look at his record at Illinois, man. He's a terrible coach. Okay, that's like hiring somebody and expecting him to compete for a national championship at, like, USF. Like, what are we doing? Like, nobody's winning there. Nobody's going to Illinois. No players are, by their own accord or on their own accord, are just like, yeah, I want to be a member of the Fighting Illini.
Negative.
Nobody. Good for Lovie Smith. I think this is going to be good for the Texans.
I think so too.
I think Lovey's a guy that will get the best out of what he has. I think he's always kind of been that guy.
Alrighty, some NASCAR news.
Oh boy!
Do you want me to take this so you could do a Clash recap?
No, I got some notes on this one.
Okay. Take it away.
We may have brought this up last week. I know we talked about it off the show at least. I don't know if we brought this up on the podcast or not. The Money Team Racing is a real thing. Co-owned by boxing champion Floyd Mayweather. They have announced a part-time schedule for 2022 in the NASCAR Cup Series with Kaz Grala as their driver. And this is one of those things, nobody believed that the Money Team was ever going to exist. Nobody.
Because it's been going, like, rumors have been going for like a couple years.
It's not even rumors. They announced their intentions in 2019.
Ugh.
Didn't make a start in 2019 or 2020 or 2021. But now they have apparently secured a next-gen car, running a Chevy Camaro. In fact, the car, apparently they bought from the now-defunct Starcom Racing. Which was always, it was a curious thing, because when they were testing the next-gen car, everyone's like, well, why the hell does Starcom even have one? They're not running in 2022. Well, they are somewhat involved. I believe they're financially involved somehow, Starcom is. But this is the Money Team, but they bought Starcom's, I believe, only next-gen cars, so there's a good chance they only have one car. But they have a part-time schedule. They're going to run Daytona. Right now, that's the only announced race that they're going to run. This is crazy because people have always doubted that this team was ever going to turn a lap on track. Like, I never believed it. I mean, the Twitter accounts existed since 2019. It's got like 4,000 followers. Nobody cared. Everyone thought that it just kind of died off. People didn't even know if Floyd Mayweather was even involved. People thought they were just like taking leasing the branding, like licensing the Money Team branding and name. And Floyd had no clue about it. But Floyd did have a statement when they announced all this. Basically, it says, I love fast cars and I like to compete.
I mean, I like fast cars too.
Sounds like something Floyd Mayweather would say.
I also like fast cars, Floyd. I'll give you that.
For all intents and purposes at this point, do exist. They intend to try and qualify for the Daytona 500. We will see if that happens. Qualifying coming up, I believe, a week from today. Right? Yeah, next Wednesday because duels are on Thursday. That is that car is one of the ugliest I've ever seen, though.
I have not seen it. I'm looking at it now. I'm looking for it now.
I think I sent it to you, but regardless, it's sponsored by Pit Viper.
Oh no.
So it is a conglomeration of colors and designs, and there's a lot going on. And then just the most boring number font you've ever seen.
This can't be real.
It is! They've released that! I mean, we'll see next Wednesday. I mean, maybe they show up, maybe they don't.
This.
Did you see the car?
I'm cold. Hold, please. I'm sending you this. I want to make sure this is the right thing
Okay.
that Google is showing me. I swear to God, if it is, I am going to lose my mind.
That is the car. With the worst possible rendering I have ever seen, look at the name on the front windshield banner.
I see it. It's
And how crooked it is. Like, man, they should have had, like, fucking Lefty, who's a NASCAR, kind of concept designer and everything, designs paint schemes. Should have had him do this thing, because this looks terrible. This car is what was announced by the money team. It's hideous. It's Pit Viper. I'll say that. It's very Pit Viper.
oh yeah. When I think Pit Viper, this.
Basically this. Yeah, that car apparently is going to be on track next Wednesday, trying to qualify for the Daytona 500. And then Thursday, we have the duels. So we will see.
Is it bad that I hope that they don't qualify? That way, in the event that I do choose to watch Daytona, I don't have to see this.
I mean, there's a decent chance you might not have to see it anyway. Although these cars are, the next gen car is designed to kind of level the playing field a little bit, make everyone, make the old backmarker teams maybe a little bit more competitive.
Let's move on to recap of the clash.
Okay.
I have to get that car off my screen because
it's so bad. This the qualifying and the heats here. I'm just gonna kind of run through. Qualifying on Saturday. Of course, the top four would start on the pole for their heat races. So that was Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, out of nowhere, Justin Haley, and Colleague Racing.
had a solid weekend.
Into one of the better stories of the weekend. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Colleague Racing is a brand new, this is their first full-time season in Cup, and Justin Haley's out there third fastest in qualifying this thing, and was fast in every single moment that he was on track. Absolutely insane.
Until something happened, but we'll talk about that in a moment.
Until something happened, but we'll get there when we get there. Heat 1 saw Kyle Busch, Daniel Suarez in Trackhouse Racing. They looked really good.
With his phenomenal hat.
Yes, the
on
sombrero
Sunday.
and driver intros. He did make it to the main event by finishing second here in this heat. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Ryan Blaney advanced from Heat 1. Tyler Reddick, who was really fast all weekend long, won Heat number 2. And he was pissed. He thought he could have qualified first overall and beat Kyle Busch. He felt like he left a little bit out there, and yet he still qualified second. Chase Briscoe, Austin Dillon, and Coleslaw Custer advanced to the main event from Heat 2. Back to Justin Haley for Heat 3. He won his heat with William Byron, Christopher Bell, and Chase Elliott finishing behind him. They're through to the main event. And then Heat 4, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Michael McDowell, of all people, and Eric Jones advanced. And then Martin Truex Jr. advances. simply based on being the highest in 2021 points that did not advance from the heat races. He just chose not to run in the last chance qualifiers, which pissed some people off. I mean, it's a preseason exhibition. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about it.
No, the first last chance qualifier was kind of a snoozer. 3 of the 4 heats were kind of snoozers. Like, everyone was really just kind of trying to conserve what they got. They knew if they didn't make it, they still had the LCQs. Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, and AJ Allmendinger advance in LCQ number 1. And then the second LCQ. Oh my God.
You were telling me about this, and this is what made me turn the Clash on, because I watched the Clash.
Event was more like this. Yeah,
because I wasn't watching anything else Sunday evening.
Right. I wish that the main event was like LCQ number 2. Like, this is exactly what we all thought. So, the people who advance, we'll get to that. We'll knock that out of the way first. Ryan Preece, Bubba Wallace, and Harrison Burton advance from LCQ number 2. And then we get to the story that was Ty Dillon.
Yes, please.
The line from Mike Joy on the broadcast about halfway through this was Ty Dillon's hit everything but the lottery.
Not entirely true.
He did not hit the pace car. That's what I said. He hit everything but the pace car.
Yeah.
Like, that car did 75 laps on track between the LCQs and the heats, and that thing looked like it went through hell. Because it did. He rammed his way to the front in NASCAR Heat 3, Party at Napoli. Yeah, that's, if you remember that stream from back in the day, that's basically what Ty Dillon was doing.
If not, go find it on YouTube.
It's out there somewhere.
Oh my God, I loved all of that.
So Ty Dillon plows his way to the front. We had a caution for something. I don't remember who spun who. There were tons. There were like 9 cautions in this LCQ.
How many of them were caused by Ty Dillon?
I would say probably 6 or 7.
8, all except the 9th.
So, like,
oh shit.
There were like some YouTubers or everyone that was tweeting. There was at the race that it didn't come across that Ty Dillon was behind all this. People thought Austin Cindric was being kind of a menace to society here, when in reality it was Ty Dillon running into him more often than not, and then just a chain reaction. Ty Dillon was just ramming it. Every corner he was sticking his nose in there, trying to bump and run. Most ridiculous thing. So they restart. Ty Dillon's in second. Jumps the restart. In any normal NASCAR race, you'd get assessed like a drive-through penalty or something like that. Well, there's no pit road here.
Correct.
So they just have him drop to the back, which was the worst idea ever. Had him drop to the back of the line. And then he just resumed what he was doing before.
Yeah, send him back. That's what you do in this scenario.
Right. So he's in the back again, last place, and just rammed his way through everybody again. And we have a restart with 3 to go. Everyone was being super aggressive in this point. It wasn't even Ty Dillon that was causing the late lap cautions here. Restart with 3 to go. Ty Dillon's in the lead this time. So he controls the restart. There's a problem. You can't restart when you're not in the restart box. So he starts going before they get to the restart zone, and he gets his second restart violation of a 50-lap LCQ. Like, that shouldn't be possible. Like, and you're the leader. Like, it's not hard. You can see the box. It's right there. In fact, I think they even sold a sponsorship on it, so it was in bright blue. So, Ty Dillon actually crosses the line first to this. And then everyone thinks that he's through, and it was, let's see, Ty Dillon, Ryan Preece, and Bubba Wallace. Which is hilarious because people thought that this second penalty, came out of nowhere to put Bubba through to the main event, which he would have made it anyway. So that just goes to show you the way that those people think. So Harrison Burton in the 21 Wood Brothers car is actually the one that advances because of Ty Dillon's stupidity. And then we get to the main event. That was a bit of a snoozer early. I didn't expect a lot of craziness to be going on in the first half of this race, the first 75 laps, because you figured that the nonsense would come later. There was a caution. I don't remember what lap it was on.
It was early.
that this bizarre sequence occurs.
Yeah.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. spun out. And at the same time, Denny Hamlin has some mechanical issue. He goes into the little infield area, parks his car. He's done for the day. One lap before green, Chase Briscoe pulls off the track.
Yep.
He's down on power. He was trying to get heat in the tires, trying to warm up his tires, and while he was shifting, broke the transaxle in his car.
Is that what it actually was?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
I was curious as to what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Denny's car.
It quit.
I'm sure it's out there, but it wasn't.
It was tired.
Right. And then so they delay the restart a lap. And then the leader, Tyler Reddick's car, has the same problem as Chase Briscoe's. Same thing. He shifted and he was trying to warm up his tires, and the transaxle broke. So that's something we're gonna have to watch here in the early stages of this next gen car. So we had 3 cars go off the track in under caution.
Yeah.
That was Clint Boyer said it perfectly. What is happening?
Cars were tired. They were quitting. Long weekend.
It's gonna be. I think the next gen car. I mean, it's to be expected. Every time we do come up with one of these new cars, there's always problems. But I mean, the supply chain shortages are not helping out right now. So these cars are. It's going to be an adventure here for the first month or two of the season, I think. Yeah. We got to the halfway break. Ryan Preece just retired the car. I don't even know why. There's not a listed reason. It could have something to do with the fact that Brickware Racing didn't feel like that it was worth it to keep running the car because, like I said, teams are short on cars right now.
Yeah.
So that's probably my thing. The listed reason was an oil pressure problem. I don't know. Feels like that's something that could have been fixed because this was at the halfway break that they did with Ice Cube,
which was awesome.
So the funny part was after the performance, there were people trying to say that Ice Cube said the N-word during the performance, which I mean it's in some of the songs that he was performing.
Yeah.
But he did not say that. You want to know what these people were hearing that they thought was the N-word?
Oh God. Hang on.
Ice Cube. Okay.
Was it?
Take your guesses.
Meow. Was the was F1's Nero guy there?
No, unfortunately he was not.
Okay, go then.
He would kind of have to lower his voice a little bit.
Yeah.
These things have a mean growl to them.
Yeah,
I love the sound of these cars. No, it was Ice Cube saying NASCAR. I kid you not. Somebody posted a video clip of him allegedly saying this during the performance. That's what he said. It was NASCAR. People just looking for a reason to be mad. This was really quickly, I'll bring up like this was just a gimmicky entertainment race.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's a preseason exhibition. That's what they should be. They should be fun. The NASCAR account at one point tweeted, "We are having fun," and then somebody in the replies goes, "Calm the fuck down. It's an exhibition." And I'm like, isn't that the point? Aren't exhibitions supposed to be fun?
Yeah. Do this for the All-Star race.
I think that's probably the way that it will go, or they just continue to do it for the Clash. I don't know.
Do it at every race. Fuck it. Do it at every race.
Well, the problem is like the amount of stadiums that could actually pull this off are very, very limited. Like I saw some people talking about potentially doing this at Wembley Stadium. It's far too small.
Oof,
like
God,
the Coliseum works. The Coliseum works because it had the quarter-mile Olympic track in it, and it's longer. Like if you look at USC playing football games, that's why they put the temporary seating in there. Because there's just all this grass.
Yeah.
That there's nothing there for. It's longer than most fields. I saw some people bring up Michigan Stadium, and
Wouldn't
not
happen.
possible.
Physically impossible.
For one, it's too small. Two, I don't believe a car could fit down the tunnel. I truly believe that. Because when they did the Winter Classic at the Big House, they had to bring in smaller Zambonis that were basically the size of a midget car.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, there's probably a few stadiums out there that you could do this in. I would definitely not be opposed to keeping Clash at the Coliseum. This was really fun. And it can only get better. I mean, you figure out all the quirks with these cars, everything like that. I mean, the television ratings for this over last year's Clash, the ratings jumped 168%. Now, there's a disclaimer on that. Last year's race was on the Daytona Road Course, and it was on FS1. This was on cable on Fox. So naturally, there's going to be more viewers on Fox. So you look back to the last Clash that was on Fox. It was, I believe, 2015, and it beat that too. So this race got more viewers than the championship race last year. So I would call that a success.
Yeah.
But anyway, the rest of this race, we talked about Ryan Preece. This bit right here, I don't even understand. So Eric Jones ass-packed Ryan Blaney at one point. Lifted his tires up going into the corner.
Yep.
Didn't look like that hard a contact, but it broke something in Ryan Blaney's car in the rear suspension. Something that they fixed because they did actually finish this race. Blaney parks his car in the middle of in the infield there. Got out. Fox was trying to interview him, and apparently he ran across the infield and threw his Hans device at Eric Jones' car, and there isn't a soul on the planet that has video of it.
I know, which upsets me.
But the Fox broadcast showed the Hans device laying on the track.
Yep.
But go on YouTube, go on anywhere. Nobody has video of this. That's another thing. Is Fox is usually pretty good. Their broadcast sucked. Like Mike Joy, Tony Stewart, and Clint Boyer in the booth were good, but the cameras were always like zoomed in on like one or two cars. You could never see what was going on. They missed a battle for a transfer spot in one of the heats. In one of the last chance qualifiers that were 50 laps, they had a commercial break that lasted about 17 laps.
Jesus.
That was terrible. Fox was just not good. But this was the biggest sin of them all because everyone wanted to see that. You could have used that in promotional packages for the rest of for 10 years. Yeah. Probably more. Showing like you could use that at every short track. You know, playing into the whole tempers flaring short track Saturday night nonsense. And they missed it. So go figure. We get to the Justin Haley bit here. It's the last incident before we get to the winner of this race. And this just made no sense. So, Justin Haley, I don't remember who got into him that forced him into Kyle Larson in the turn prior to this, but Justin Haley he got punted into Larson.
Yes. 100%.
And we get out of the turn, and Larson just decides to turn left on a straight and run Justin Haley into the wall. And then the funniest thing about this whole thing is in the radioactive, where they go over the driver, pit crew, or crew chief, spotter audio, the best of that from the weekend. When this incident came up, I think it was Larson's spotter said, "Oh, he came up into you there. You did nothing wrong." No, you turned left on a straight. That was the most ridiculous thing. That was not cool. I don't think. Like, short tracks. Short track racing's kind of like, bumping people out of the way. Little light tap, spin them out, something like that. Not a body slam into the inside wall. And that was a hard hit too.
Yeah.
He broke the wall.
Justin Haley's car was
not
having a good time.
Whole left front, because he hit right in between where two sections of this wall met up. Yeah. And it ripped the hell out of that left front of that car. And that sucked for Justin Haley. He was having such a great weekend. And, I mean, man, if colleagues showing this kind of speed early, especially on the short tracks like Martinsville, Bristol, Justin Haley might be kind of a dark horse sleeper candidate for a win there. But I mean, colleagues been fast in the Xfinity Series for as long as they've been in there. So this game is, I expected them to be fast in a couple years. I didn't expect them to be fast right now. And then a rather anticlimactic finish. I really wanted Kyle Busch to punt Joey Logano, and he got really close a couple times.
I did too.
But Kyle used up his tires, what was left of them, because they'd been on since the lap 75 break. They were probably toast, and couldn't get there. Joey Logano pulled away with it to win the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. The first one, potentially the only one, but I do think after this event they come back.
They have to.
So NASCAR doesn't announce attendance figures anymore. They haven't for 20 years.
Fair enough.
But it was reported that it was 50,000 plus, which is still phenomenal. And yes, there were empty seats in the Coliseum. Still 50,000 people.
I would say some of the seats they had covered, you wouldn't have been watching racing. You would have been watching a cinder block.
Right. Well, and so this doesn't get said enough about the attendance of this race, is that, of course, people were focusing on the empty seats on the backstretch side, which was in the glaring sun in Los Angeles. And I mean, it wasn't hot by any means, but it wasn't freezing cold. Yeah. I mean, there were plenty of people out there in sleeveless t-shirts, things like that. Those obviously you see because like the sun's shining on them. I don't think there was an empty seat on the front stretch side of that thing.
Probably not.
Like that place was packed. Somebody tried to tell me that was half full, which would have meant with the tarps and everything, because he announced amount of tickets that they sold was 60,000, which would have meant there's 30,000 people. He tried to like go into like stadium architecture with me. Well, there's more seats up at the top than there is at the bottom. Those ones that are covered up, they don't account for much. I'm like, there's 20 rows of 13 seats in a row covered up. That's easily like 10,000 right there. And then the Coliseum's regular capacity is 78,000, and they put the temporary seating in.
Yeah.
In the one end zone where they have like the old seats from the Coliseum, the concrete bleachers.
Yeah.
Which accounts for a couple thousand in there. So I guess the attendance was, or the capacity for this was anywhere between 58,000 to maybe 62.
Yeah,
somewhere in there. And the NASCAR said they had made 60,000 tickets available. So we'll go with that. But I mean, I could see like there being like 5,000 empty seats, but like it's still like what? What are you complaining about? That's still phenomenal.
Especially
Like,
for
great.
an exhibition race.
Right. Well, and there were so many people that tried to go into well, the Clash at Daytona, man, they do 50,000 easy. No, they don't. They haven't done 50,000. Look at any picture of the Clash in recent years. Like even 2020, because the Clash happened before the pandemic was really in full swing.
Yes.
In 2020, nowhere close to 50,000. Maybe 25,000. I think the year prior was 35,000. They haven't done this many people for the Clash in years. In years. And I think if they improve on what they did, if they want to go back, they'd probably have an even better turnout. I don't see why not. I do hope they do this again. But any final notes on this? You watched the main event?
Yes. No, because I will talk about this later in the show.
Oh, okay.
So people, you might know where I'm going with that.
I mean, yeah, one or the other. I don't know which one yet.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Super Bowl preview. The reason we're having this show.
Well, I mean, we have a show anyway. And
yeah.
We did kind of forget that this would be something we'd be doing.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So I will start off with the Cincinnati Bengals. I will let you talk about the Rams a little bit here in a moment. We'll start off with the offenses. Cincinnati Bengals are 14th in total offense, 8th in scoring offense, 8th in passing yards, led by Joe Burrow, 23rd in rushing yards because Zach Taylor doesn't believe in rushing the ball, and 10th in giveaways per game.
I mean, pretty good overall, despite that rushing yards. But again, it's not like Joe Mixon isn't capable.
Joe Mixon is very capable. Both teams have very good offenses, kind of similar. Like I said, you'll talk about the Rams here in a moment. Joe Burrow in his second year has been, Jordan has in the notes, phenomenal. I'm going to go step above, and he's been elite.
This season, yes, he has. Phenomenal, elite, same thing.
Yeah. 4,611 yards, 34 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, some of which are C.J. Stroud-esque, very stupid. A 70% completion percentage. Biggest thing with Joe Burrow is he at times doesn't know when to just get rid of the ball. Leads to some stupid interceptions against a very opportunistic Rams defense. Joe Mixon.
Yeah, they got some dudes that can take advantage of mistakes for sure.
Yeah. Joe Mixon is a very good running back, just is not used a lot under Zach Taylor's offense. He has 1,205 yards, 13 touchdowns. He's only put the ball on the turf twice, and he's averaging 4.1 yards per carry.
Couldn't find how many of those fumbles were lost.
I believe only 2. I believe just 2.
Okay.
Let me look real quick.
Two fumbles isn't by any means bad.
No. He does not put the ball on the turf. At all. Let's see.
Yeah, finding stats for this game, I couldn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, according to ESPN, he hasn't even actually lost those fumbles. He's just put it on the turf.
Put the ball on the ground, but the Bengals got it back. Okay.
So he's put the ball on the ground twice. Has not lost either of those. Bengals have 2 very good wide receivers that are over 1,000 yards. Well, they have 3 very good wide receivers, 2 over 1,000 yards, and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. He's pretty good too.
Yeah, he had like 900 yards or something.
900 and some. Let me pull up that real quick.
And then you guys got a guy, pretty good tight end in C.J. Uzomah.
Oh, that's postseason stats. I don't want postseason stats. I want season stats.
Yeah, by the way, every stat here and every ranking is regular season, does not include postseason.
I'm sorry. He's put one fumble. He's lost 1 fumble. Tyler Boyd had 828, by the way.
Okay.
CJ Uzama, a very good tight end when he has been healthy. He's been a good target for Joe Burrow, 500 yards. Joe Mixon catches the ball out of the backfield. The Bengals on occasion throw in Michigan running back Chris Evans in.
Oh God.
Samaje Perine. Chris Evans.
I really like Samaje Perine coming out of college. I didn't think he'd be like a third stringer.
He's a second string. He gets more touches than Chris Evans.
He's above Evans. Yeah, he's above Chris Evans, as he should.
Chris Evans is just mostly a return man. Very good return man when he can actually get the ball. I'll say that much.
That's interesting. I don't remember him returning a lot at Michigan.
So the Bengals offense overall, good. The offensive line's questionable at times. They do give up sacks. They gave up.
There's another thing that I couldn't really find offensive line statistics. I know there's not a lot of offensive line statistics.
See if I can...
It's like you got pancake blocks and sacks allowed. That's pretty much offensive line stats.
The Bengals offensive line has given up 42 sacks for 276 yards.
Okay. I mean, I was expecting worse. after the what game was that where Joe Burrow got sacked like 9 times?
Titans. That's just the regular season. That was the regular season.
Yeah.
The postseason they did give up.
I don't think they gave up a sack either against KC or against
Vegas. No, it was just the 9 against fucking it's Tennessee.
Which does play into what you said. Of sometimes Joe Burrow just doesn't know when to get rid of the ball and cut his losses. He shouldn't have been sacked 9 times in that game. The offensive line did not play good, but he did not do them any favors.
What the fuck is this headline? Game. We're going to take a stop for a minute. We're going to add a stupid person saying a stupid thing.
Oh, no.
The Washington football team, now Washington Commanders, who is the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for Washington.
Who is?
Jonathan Allen.
Okay.
The Walter Payton Man of the Year. Apparently tweeted today. Someone asked him what 3 people he would want to have dinner with. Would want to have at a dinner table with.
Oh no. Given that this is a late stupid person saying a stupid thing, I can only imagine.
His 3 people. His grandfather.
Okay.
Michael Jackson.
Out there. That's an interesting one. It is what it is.
Adolf Hitler.
No. I mean, I think I get what he's trying to say, because I think a lot of people would like to pick the brain of Adolf Hitler to understand the amount of fucked up that he was, but we already understand the amount of fucked up that he was. So I really don't think I'd want to have dinner with Hitler.
I wouldn't.
There's words I did not expect to say on this podcast. Today or ever.
Moving back on to the Super Bowl preview, that headline popped up on ESPN. I was like, "What the fuck? What is this headline?"
Michael Jackson and Adolf Hitler. Wow.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Jonathan Allen.
That's a good. I mean, wow.
Back to the Bengals.
Anybody better? He couldn't pick anybody better.
Back to the Bengals offensive line. They're good sometimes. Sometimes they're bad. Then Joe Burrow sometimes doesn't get rid of the ball. The Bengals.
And sometimes those two happen in the same game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Go ahead and talk about the Rams.
All right. The Los Angeles Rams.
I can't believe I fucking read that.
That is something else. Their offensive ranks, they're 7th in total offense, 6th in scoring offense, 5th in passing yards. Another team that doesn't run the ball a lot, in fact, even worse than the Bengals, 25th in rushing yards, and 20th in giveaways per game, which has something to do with one Matthew Stafford. He's basically been what the Rams had hoped for when they traded for him. Passed for 4,800 yards, 4,886 to be exact, 41 touchdowns, but 17 interceptions, which, I mean, both of these teams throw the ball a ton.
Yeah.
So seeing those numbers high is not shocking. At least he didn't have the 20 TD, 20 interception season like Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that bad, but 17 picks, still not ideal by any means. The running game is a bit of an interesting... We don't really know what's going to go on with the running game here. Sony Michel was the guy throughout the regular season as Cam Akers was hurt in camp.
And Sony Michel was good.
Fairly good.
I mean, for a team that doesn't run the ball.
Right, 845 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 fumble, and also 4.1 yards per carry, just like Joe Mixon. But they have got Cam Akers back. They got him back for Week 18 and the playoffs. And in the playoffs, he's gone for 151 yards, 2 fumbles, and 2.8 yards per carry.
2 egregiously bad fumbles, too.
Those 2 fumbles that let Tampa Bay back in that game. Along with a Cooper Kupp fumble in that as well.
Yeah.
Like, those were horrendous. You can't do it. Which is weird because Cam Akers really, historically hasn't done that. He's usually a fairly reliable guy. Wide receiver, however, I mean, both of these teams have stacked wide receiver lineups.
Oh, yeah, their receiving core is stacked.
But, as teams that pass as much as these two teams do, as they should. Cooper Kupp had one of the best receiving seasons in NFL history. 1,947 yards and 16 touchdowns. Odell Beckham has really come on. Apparently Baker Mayfield was always the problem because he got to the Rams. It took him a couple games, but he's a very, very big part of their offense now. And then you got Van Jefferson, who was really basically the number 2 guy before Odell got there. He still had a great season. So both of these teams, 3 elite, 3, I won't say elite, like 2 elite wide receivers in Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd for the Bengals, Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham for the Rams. And then you guys have, T. Higgins, and then the Rams have Van Jefferson as a very solid number 3 option. These teams are going to pass the ball a shit ton, so it seems. Or they're going to throw us for a whole loop and not pass the ball at all. So there's the thing. We shall see. Offensive line is okay. It's all right. It could be better. But like I put in the notes here, both of these teams I think have very similar offenses, and that's even reflected in the season ranks. I feel like their offensive strategy is just very much very, very similar. Pass heavy, don't run a lot. Basically how it goes. Did we lose Austin? Oh, he's doing a thing. He's not in his chair. Interesting. Okay, well, hold please. Where did he go? See him on the camera. We have a temporary
problems.
Temporary delay.
Yep. Where were we?
On the Rams offense. I have summed up the Rams offense. We can move on to the defensive preview.
The Bengals defense is a thing.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. Is it a good thing? They're 20th in total defense, 13th in scoring defense, 26th in passing yards allowed, which is comical. Because supposedly, depending on who you ask, the Bengals have one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL.
Which is?
You gonna make me say it?
Please don't say Eli Apple.
No. Chidobe Awuzie.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. What, the PFF number 2 graded corner or whatever?
Yeah. According to Pro Football Focus, Chidobe Awuzie, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. He's
a thing.
He's not the one of the best.
PFF says he is.
The Bengals' rush defense is solid, 8th in rushing yards allowed, and 14th in takeaways per game. Bengals have 2 very good pass rushers in Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard. Logan Wilson at linebacker leads the team with interceptions.
Yeah, go figure, right?
Logan Wilson is a good linebacker, good pickup. This could be a game where we see like 8 billion points scored.
Yeah, I don't know what the over is. We'll get to that in the picks. I don't know if we'll pick it, but we'll at least mention it.
Not high enough. The over's not high enough.
I mean, I feel like the over is an easy play, right?
On paper.
No matter, unless it's 70. Then maybe I'd consider the under. I don't know.
Go ahead, talk about the Rams.
Rams defense.
Oh my God, that over is very, very low.
Oh God. Well, we'll get to it later. Rams defense. On paper, very good. A lot of stars on this defense. They rank 13th in total defense, 10th in scoring defense, 21st in pass yards allowed.
I don't know how.
Makes no sense. I don't know. Injuries, something. Who knows? We're in a pass-heavy league these days, so anyway. 5th in rushing yards allowed, which is lower than I expected, and 8th in takeaways a game. There's a man on the screen currently wearing number 99.
See on the screen? Yes, he is.
Named Aaron Donald. Defensive player of the year most years. Not this year, I don't believe. If he wins it this year, I swear to fucking God.
If Aaron Donald wins defensive player of the year this year, there's a problem. Because he had a bad year.
A bad year by Aaron Donald standards, but still not bad. 12. And they also have the Rams also have 2 very capable pass rushers in Leonard Floyd and Von Miller, who in their time, at least in Von Miller's time with the Rams, him and Floyd combined for 14.5 sacks in between them. Taylor Rapp and Jalen Ramsey are the statistical best players in the secondary for the Rams. Rapp had been in concussion protocol up until recently. He has since cleared concussion protocol, but is still questionable for the Super Bowl, at least as of yesterday. So he might play, he might not.
Might not.
We will see on that one. Yeah, on paper, the Rams defense should be better. I mean, they got plenty of guys.
They got
Ramsey,
dudes.
They got Donald. They got Von Miller, who's looked phenomenal. Once he kind of heated up there with the Rams, once he got accustomed to everything. Thank God he didn't team up with Odell in Cleveland, as they apparently talked about. That would have been
catastrophic.
Tremendously terrible.
Being comical,
really,
but catastrophic.
Really the only way to describe it. that's about all I got on these defenses. And again, like, they're very similar in the way that when one team is kind of statistically bad, the other team's statistically bad. Like, passing yards allowed by both of these defenses they're in the bottom third of the league.
Yeah.
Which just is crazy. 21st for the Rams and 26th for the Bengals. I don't get it. But then they have good rushing defenses. But will that matter? Because none of these teams run the ball.
Except the over is in very serious danger. It's low for what I would do.
All right.
We'll talk about that momentarily. Couple other quick things. I'm just gonna fly through these because I have stats right up in front of me.
Yeah.
The Cincinnati Bengals are third in penalties per game, second in penalty yards per game. Bengals are not a heavily penalized team. They've had 72 all year. They average 36 penalty yards per game. The Rams,
not bad at all,
are second in penalties per game, first in penalty yards. The Rams are penalized. Where did it go? I had it. Have been penalized 76 times this year, 37 total yards.
Wait, 37 yards per game?
Yeah, average yards per game. Sorry.
37 total yards.
Total yards was 637.
Okay.
Neither team, like the Bengals, have not been penalized a lot this year. It's just when they are, it's some really dumb ones.
Two very disciplined teams.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, these two teams are just so similar, it seems, on paper. Crazy.
Moving on to the special teams, because we're gonna talk about it.
I had to throw this in here because of Mcpherson. It would be a disservice to Evan Mcpherson to not talk about the special teams.
Before I talk about Evan Mcpherson, the man with the titanium wrecking balls as testicles, we're going to talk about Bengals punter Kevin Huber.
Okay.
Who actually hasn't had to punt a lot this postseason.
No. No, because all the Bengals do is score.
Kevin Huber has punted 66 times this year for 3,064 yards. And averaging 46.4 yards per punt. Solid.
For the brand.
For the brand. You want to talk about a guy, though, who's for the brand?
This guy.
Evan Mcpherson, who is trying to trademark Money Mac, by the way.
As he should.
And I hope he succeeds. This season, the season long, 28 for 33, 84.8% in terms of kicking field goals, along with 58, and then come playoff time, ice in his veins. Balls, huge balls of steel. How he's able to kick with them, I don't know. 12 for 12 in the playoffs, and including a couple game winners.
If Evan McPherson kicks 3 field goals in this game, he will have passed Adam Vinatieri for most in a postseason. I mean, this guy. Like,
this guy. This is
the
guy.
They say playoff Tom Brady is different. Evan McPherson, playoff Evan McPherson, man, is not something to be messed with, apparently.
Like, this is the guy who, in Tennessee, when he was walking out to kick the what was going to end up being the game-winning field goal, he looked at Joe Burrow. Well, we're going to the AFC Championship game. I sure as hope in KC 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, when he was trotting out to kick the game winner against Kansas City, I sure hope he looked at Joe Burrow. Well, we're going to the Super Bowl now. I sure as fuck hope he did.
I mean, that guy, like, he didn't even have ducks come off his foot. Like, they're always, like, perfect.
Missiles.
Right down the middle.
Missiles
down at the 25? missiles through the damn goalposts.
Yeah, into the 25th row.
that guy makes no sense. But hey, as the Bengals say on social media, a lot, or as they have, at least in this playoff run, that's why you draft a kicker.
They've been saying it all year, and you know, I knew Evan McPherson was solid because he was good at Florida.
I forgot he went to Florida.
He was good at Florida. And he's been great for the Bengals all year.
Right. Like, even you look at, like, the 84.8% success rate on these field goals. It doesn't blow you away, but it's still, I mean, that's without context. Like, I'm sure the way he's been kicking, I'm sure the ones that he's missing are long as hell.
I'll say, he missed 2 in the game against the Packers that he put off of an upright. Off of the inside of the upright. And it just didn't go in.
That one.
2 of them.
Yeah.
It's 2 of his 5 misses.
That was a bad game for kickers all around, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't Mason Crosby suck ass in that game,
Mason
too?
Crosby missed 5 kicks.
Oh, that was that game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Goodness gracious.
The Rams, Johnny Hecker, good punter. 51 punts this year for a total of 2,252 yards, 44.2 yards per punt. Matt Gay, 32 for 34, 94.1% success rate on his kicks. He is a long of 55 in the regular season. He is 7 for 9 in the playoffs, including the game winner against
the Bucks.
The Buccaneers.
Yeah. So in other words, Matt Gay does not have gigantic steel testicles in the same way that Evan McPherson does.
I mean, didn't he also technically have the game winner against the 49ers? It was just with 6 minutes left because that game sucked.
He might have, yes.
That game was rough to watch.
That game for 3 quarters was not good.
Okay.
Might have been more action in the Pro Bowl.
Maybe. Do we got some picks? You have anything else to say before we move on to some picks?
I don't think I do.
It's time for some picks then.
It is time for the picks, and, well...
I'm assuming we're going to do the prop bets before we do...
We are good. Yes.
Okay.
We have 10 exotic prop bets here that are... Well, they're a thing, some of these.
Yeah.
We did some of these last year. I don't think we did 10 of them, but
we
got 10.
I don't think we did.
All right. The first one, always a favorite of mine. The length of the national anthem. The current total for seconds the national anthem will take is 95. The under is plus 110. The over is minus 147. I just hope that nobody goes outside the stadium and records a sound check this year and voids all the bets. Because that happened last year.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate. I believe I didn't bet on the national anthem link. I bet on the coin toss. All right, national anthem link over under. What do you got for this?
Oh please, I'm trying to figure out who is.
Oh, that is a good. Yes, that's important.
Country singer Mickey Guyton.
I mean, I'm not in tune with country, so I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Why do we have a country singer for a Los Angeles Super Bowl? What the hell is that about?
Apparently, she sang the national anthem in a minute and just shy of 90 seconds. A minute 27. Supposedly.
Like in a previous national anthem?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm trying to figure this out, though. A bit more about who this is.
That is... I was for sure going over. Now I don't know.
I
mean, you're getting plus odds on the under, so...
I think Super Bowl, I'm going to still say with the over.
Man, I don't know what to do. Talking five whole seconds she'd have to find? You said it was 90 seconds?
It was actually just a hair under.
A hair under 90 seconds?
Yeah. She did it in a minute 29, so she'd have to find 6 seconds. I think at a stage like the Super Bowl, because I think the show that, let's see. Please don't play this.
I'm leaning towards the under.
She sang it in a minute 28 at the National Memorial Day concert last year.
Okay.
So, yeah, you could probably lean towards the under because I feel like that's... Yeah.
Damn. I'm going to go with the over as well.
I feel like finding 6 seconds wouldn't be that hard to find, honestly.
No. How am I going to mark these down? I'm going to put a little blue dot for me and a red dot for you. That's what we'll do to keep track of these picks.
That's very fitting.
Right.
For everything with the show, that is extremely fitting.
Exactly. So we're both on the over for the national anthem length. Now we head to the coin toss result, heads or tails. This is even.
Give me tails.
I believe the exact odds were minus 105 for both.
Give me tails.
Tails never fails. Simple enough. The coin toss winner. Now, important to remember here that the LA Rams, although they are playing in their home stadium, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, or I think is it Inglewood?
Yeah.
The hell are they?
Carson.
They are technically the road team, so they will be the ones calling the toss. So, if they're smart and pick tails, maybe they'll win. Coin toss winner, Bengals or Rams. This is also even.
I'm gonna go Bengals here.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna bank on the Rams doing the smart thing and calling tails and winning the coin toss. So I will take the Rams on that one.
Fair.
Jersey number of the first touchdown scorer. Total, I guess, on this one is 23.5. Under 23.5 is minus 140. Over 23.5 is plus 110. And something very important to remember here. We have a lot of wide receivers and running backs that have a number lower than this.
I know. I'm going to go
Which is why
under.
it's minus 140. I mean, you look at the Rams, Odell, Cooper Kupp underneath that. Jamar Chase is underneath that. Cam Akers, is he 23?
I don't know.
I'm going to go with the under as well.
Cam Akers is 23.
Yeah, so there's a good one. Joe Mixon's 28, so that wouldn't be beneficial. I will also go with the under. There's just too many low number skill position players that could score touchdowns here. So, easy. The first halftime show performers. When the halftime show starts, who is the first artist that we see? Now, the artists that are in this are Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar. So the options we have here: multiple artists is plus 190, Snoop Dogg is plus 300, Dr. Dre plus 350, Eminem plus 400, Mary J. Blige plus 550, Kendrick Lamar plus 550.
Okay, so here's my theory on this. We're in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So that automatically to me says one of three people is going to come out first.
And it's not going to be Eminem.
It's not going to be Eminem or Mary J. Blige.
No.
I can confidently rule out Kendrick because he is the youngest out of all of these guys.
Right.
It's either going to be Snoop or Dre coming out first. I don't think they're going to do multiple at one time. So, Snoop seems like the layup, so I think I'm going to go with Snoop Dogg here.
Okay. I would tend to agree with you, but we picked a lot of things similarly, so I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go Dr. Dre on this.
Fair enough.
I think that's a smart choice. I don't think it's gonna be multiple at the same time either.
Yeah.
So, I think it's one of those two. The other three, I don't see coming out.
I could see Kendrick coming out before Eminem or Mary J. Blige if we like.
Right.
In terms of who's coming out first. But
I don't believe there's a prop bet for that. So,
no.
Unfortunately. This is my favorite one of the whole thing. Will Snoop Dogg smoke during the halftime show? Yes is plus 200. No is minus 250.
The fact that no is an option is the minus option here confuses me.
Well, I think the reason for that being the case is that it is illegal.
Is it illegal in California?
Not weed in general, but smoking indoors. Although technically, this is an open-air stadium. Because it's not a full dome. The roof doesn't go all the way there. There's that... Remember when they had that lightning delay?
Yeah.
Earlier in the year at SoFi?
Yep.
That's because one of the ends of the stadium is actually open air. So I don't know if this counts as indoors.
I'm saying yes.
I gotta say yes because I want it to happen so bad. like what's gonna happen with this halftime show. The same thing that happens with every halftime show. The internet's the boomers on the internet are gonna lose their mind and say it's the worst one ever.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the boomers that were watching the Clash at the Coliseum and sat through Pitbull and Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was terrible. Oh, screw this rap. Give me some good country artists, man. Like, come on. Yeah, it's gotta be a yes. But, so we're both on yes, Snoop Dogg is gonna smoke during the halftime show. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Will a new song be performed during the halftime show? I guess this qualifies for any one of them. Yes is plus 350. No is minus 600.
If I was actually putting money on this, I would say yes, just because minus 600, you're not making anything. But I'm probably not going to put money on this.
I don't even know if there's a place that you can. I'm sure there is, but it's not on any of the big books that we have here in Michigan.
That is true. So with that being said, unless it's Kendrick doing a new song, no. I'm just saying no.
I don't see the Super Bowl as a good place to do a new song because you hope that this just pumps up the crowd.
Yeah.
And you just hope that you get a good pop out of the crowd. And doing a new song is kind of interesting, and you really kind of like deaden the crowd a little bit because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like you can't sing along to something you don't know. So I'm gonna go no as well. Whoops, I put a red triangle.
I said that's a triangle.
Don't want that.
What?
Goodness gracious. Which team will call the first timeout? Bengals minus 105, Rams minus 125.
You know, I could see this going either way because you get something really goofy, stupid happening on the very first drive.
Right, like the first quarter, the first half. I mean, the timeouts, people use them so willy nilly.
Yeah.
Like it could be anybody.
So I'm just gonna go with the Bengals here with the better odds, even though this is something I'm not putting a bet on.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. I'm gonna go with the Rams, and I'll tell you why. Sean McVay has shown in this postseason that he can't handle the clock whatsoever.
That is true.
I mean, they were out of timeouts by the fourth quarter last week. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go Sean McVay because I don't think he really knows what he's doing. At least with clock management. You can say what you want about. Yeah, you could say what you want about his offensive mind and everything, but his game management's been terrible.
Watch us be wrong, and neither team calls timeouts at all.
There's no possible way.
Not a single timeout called.
That would be hilarious, and I would definitely assume that the fix is in at that point. Because imagine the odds of no timeout being called. That's probably plus 10,000.
Yeah.
But I'm on the Rams because Sean McVay is incompetent sometimes. This one's always a fun one for me. The color of the Gatorade that would be poured on the winning head coach. We have orange at plus 200, blue at plus 300, green/yellow/lime is plus 450, water or clear Gatorade is plus 450, red/pink is plus 800, and an underrated Gatorade. I don't know why the odds on this are so high. Purple, indigo/violet. Grape Gatorade's like number 2 all time, okay? So I don't know why this is down here. It's plus 1,000.
You know, even if the Bengals don't win this, I'm going to say orange, just because orange is a much more generic flavor than anything else on this list.
We're on the same page with that because I feel like
so many teams use orange.
Right. like you said, even if the Rams win, orange is still a viable option.
Yeah, it's
Bengals Bengals obviously it's the option because that's their color. But that's why I think for one it's got the lowest odds here.
It's like it's just a generic flavor. It's a flavor that like you can't go wrong with. Like the Buckeyes when they won their national championship in 2014, and they've gone on every run the Buckeyes have ever gone on. It's been like either orange or blue Gatorade because, well, red Gatorade, red Powerade, red fruit punch flavored stuff in general usually does have to tend to cause allergies in some people because of one of the food coloring dyes.
Yeah,
some people are allergic to it, which is why you don't see red Gatorade very often.
I don't like red Gatorade anyway.
Like I remember, the Buckeyes won their national title, and Urban Meyer got soaked with fucking blue Gatorade or orange Gatorade, something like that. I was like, huh? And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, that makes sense. So orange, just generic flavor. I'm gonna say that. Say orange.
Don't mind me, just choking on water. I'm on orange as well. I think that's the solid option here. I literally, if I can find a place to bet on this, I absolutely will. And our final prop bet, I love the Gatorade one's just so goofy. Like that's like the goofy one that's year to year. We do that every year.
Yeah.
But the Snoop Dogg one, that's a fun one.
That's amazing. I saw that. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, right. I was like, yeah, here we fucking go. Will any player? This is our final prop bet. Will any player propose on the field after the game? Yes is plus 400. No, minus 650.
I am hold, please. Hold, please.
Rams got plenty of young guys. Might not be married yet. Bengals definitely do.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I could see Joe Burrow. I can't even really see Joe Burrow doing that because he's just. I don't think
he's a very even-keeled kind of guy. That doesn't seem like the kind of thing that Joe Burrow would do.
Like, Joe Burrow does some very weird things and is very, like... he does stuff like he wears the diamond chain that he wore to the Chiefs game.
Oh, I love that.
And then there's other stuff where he's a bit more reserved. So I'm just going to say no on this.
The quote he had from this week of talking to young players, don't be posting workout videos, just do it in silence.
Yeah. Like, so I'm just going to say no. Like, safe bet, even though there are some a lot of young players.
I think I'm going to go yes. I mean, I'm not actually gonna bet on this.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But if I was, I would pick yes, just because the odds are good, plus 400. That seems like a good way to go. And again, we picked a lot of the same stuff, so somebody's got to win. We can't tie like regular season college football here.
If we both somehow go 5-5,
I don't even know if that's possible, and I'm not looking at it right now. But I swear to fucking God. All right. Where do we want to? I would assume the odds are different, or about the same everywhere.
I have FanDuel open.
Yeah, I say we'll go to FanDuel here. I didn't have it open. Face ID. There we go.
Say I have it open. I will, like I said, I will let you, because the picks have always been your thing. I will let you do this for the final time.
Yep, before
of season 5.
If we actually want to do it, the pucks.
Yeah, the pucks
could be a thing.
I would not be opposed to doing the pucks.
I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we'll find a way. All right. Do we want to get into anything else betting wise in this game? First touchdown score or anything like that?
No. All
right.
Let's do the total, because
yes.
I think the total is criminally low.
The total is very much in danger, and I need to bet on this ASAP. The total is 48.5. Yeah, 48.5. Which is criminally low for an NFL game with two high-powered offenses like this anytime.
Yeah.
Like, why is it so low?
Because the last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl, they scored 9 points.
Yeah, but that was with Jared Goff.
I don't even think it was 9, but yeah.
6? I don't know. That was that low-scoring Super Bowl against Brady and the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had Jared Goof.
Yeah.
They still had Todd Gurley, but
who was unfathomably good that year.
Right, he offensively, he was the reason why they were there.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to dwell on this one too long. 48.5 is disgustingly low.
Criminally low. If you're
looking
at this,
mortgage the house, put it all on.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, over, hammer. Are we gonna do a Super Bowl edition of Backdoor Cover Friday? Are you available for that?
We could. We definitely could.
It's been a minute since we've had Backdoor Cover, so I would definitely not be opposed to bringing it back. For the
it's been a little over a month
for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, look into there. We can get into the first touchdown scores.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, the spread.
The actual pick.
Game. The final pick of the 2021-22 NFL season. LA Rams, Cincinnati Bengals, Super Bowl 56. Rams are -4. This opened at -3.5. Rams money line is -198. Bengals money line +166. The odds on -4 for the Rams -112. Bengals +4 is -108. This is a very bizarre number that will I have a feeling fuck some people because I don't see this game being a blowout either way.
No. Who else am I gonna pick? Like, seriously.
Right? I mean,
Seriously.
Especially because you're getting points. Even if you weren't getting points, you'd pick the Bengals. But
Like, I have the Chad Ochocinco jersey up on my wall behind me here.
yes, you do.
Who else am I gonna pick?
Will you be wearing that on Sunday?
Yes. Not the Dan Sanzenbacher one. Not the Jordan Shipley one. I'm gonna be wearing 8-5 on Sunday.
If the Bengals win on Sunday, will you buy a Joe Burrow jersey?
Yes. Yes, I will. Or no, I'm not gonna say maybe. Might buy an Evan McPherson jersey.
That is fair. That is very fair.
Things I never thought I would say.
Goodness gracious.
I will be adding, if the Bengals do win on Sunday, yes, I will be adding to that collection of Bengals jerseys. 100%.
Which is a very fair point.
Moral of the story is I'm picking the Bengals all the way.
All right. So,
because of that, you showed me a Chiefs fan who said something dumb. Or, well, no. There was a Chiefs fan who said, or not Chiefs fan, a Rams fan who said something dumb on Twitter.
Uh-oh.
The other day about NASCAR.
Oh, yeah.
You remember this.
Yep.
Because I replied to you about it.
That was bad.
That guy did not make stupid people say stupid things.
Saying the N-word is grossly disgusting and evil, says it.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Both with the R and without.
That guy had the IQ of a flat tire. Because that guy is a Rams fan.
That's an insult to flat tires.
Yeah. Because that guy is a Rams fan, I even said it on Twitter. Because this dude right here is a Rams fan. The Bengals by several billion.
Okay. My pick, we'll dive in to my justification here. I am going to go with the Rams -4. The hell else am I going to do?
Say, I know why. And I know why.
Well, there's multiple reasons here. We've had some signs. We have some voodoo that I think is on the side of the Rams here. First off, even though they are the away team, Bengals, the home team, they get to pick what jerseys they're in. They chose the colored jerseys, which in recent Super Bowl history has not gone well. The team wearing white has won considerably more often. I don't remember the exact record, but it's quite obvious. Like it's very much in favor of the team wearing white. Then of course we have Matthew Stafford, who was a longtime Detroit Lion. Love me some Matthew Stafford, who was Stafford's best receiver when he was in Detroit. Calvin Johnson. Who beat out Calvin Johnson for Georgia High School Player of the Year back when these two were still in high school, I believe both the seniors? None other than Rams head coach Sean McVay. And then back to the jerseys. I showed you the terrible concepts that people had created, and some people wanted the Rams and Bengals to wear in the Super Bowl. Bengals wearing all white with orange accents, not a hint of black on that jersey whatsoever. And then the Rams basically wearing all black, like the same jerseys they're actually wearing, but black.
Yeah.
Which were the most hideous thing I've
They were
ever
bad.
seen.
I saw them and they hurt my soul.
When I replied to that post by saying the jerseys that are being worn in the Super Bowl are so much better, I got a random reply from former Denver Broncos, I think he was a linebacker, might have been a safety, Kayvon Webster, who was a Super Bowl champion with Denver. And what color jerseys were the Denver Broncos wearing when they won the Super Bowl? They were white. The signs are everywhere. I was picking the Rams anyway, but even more justifiable now. I do hope Matthew Stafford can win a Super Bowl. That'd be so great for him. But at the same time, if the Bengals win, well, that's good for you. So, moral of the story, as the sign says, I just hope both teams have fun. Goodness gracious. Any final notes on the Super Bowl picks?
No. I hope Evan McPherson wins MVP. I need it in my life.
That might be a stretch. Like, actually, before we move on, I'm sure we do have some Super Bowl MVP odds.
Let's talk about it Friday.
Oh yeah, good idea.
I'm just saying it here on the show. Just to grow the legend of Evan McPherson.
I do hope he can find a way to kick 3 field goals in this game.
I could see it happening.
Surpass Vinatieri. Even though I do love me some Adam Vinatieri, but
yeah,
Evan McPherson with the big balls
of steel. The big balls of vibranium.
The big balls of NFL kryptonite.
Yeah. Let's move on to champ and chump of the week.
Goodness gracious.
So your chump of the week is very legitimate. So I will go first with my champ.
Okay.
Because I know your chump.
Yes.
I don't know your champ.
Nope.
My champ of the week. Something I can't believe I'm saying. NASCAR.
Oh boy.
For putting on an event with the Clash at the Coliseum, or someone like me who I don't like NASCAR.
No, you don't. You especially don't like that kind of NASCAR.
No. I don't.
Short track, like, contact sport that is short track racing.
I don't. But you put on an event where someone like me, did it help that it happened on a Sunday when there was literally nothing else on TV?
Well,
sure.
I mean, you say that, but you look at what it is competing against. I mean, the Pro Bowl isn't even really competition, but the Winter Olympics, which was the highest performing in the ratings from the weekend, but the Clash was second.
Like, you give me something, like, put something that there wasn't really much. Yes, there wasn't a lot on TV, but you put something that someone like me who does not like NASCAR, and you sit me down for 2 hours ish to watch the race. Good on you. You put on a good event, entertaining. Everything about the Clash this year was good and watchable.
And a giant middle finger to the boomers of the sport.
Yes, and that. So NASCAR, you guys are my champ of the week.
This was just a combination of everything the boomers hate.
Yeah.
Races on the West Coast in the big LA market. It's kind of, the whole event was definitely catered to a casual fan, which LA is. Like, they're not NASCAR fans over there.
No.
Like, they have Fontana, but nobody goes to the Fontana race. Fontana's been terrible. And they might turn that into a half-mile short track here shortly. We'll see. You got the musical performances, Pitbull before the race, who's a car owner in NASCAR, by the way, part owner of Trackhouse Racing. What did I say?
I will definitely say Pitbull. Like, for me, I have Pitbull, Mr. 305. To love Pitbull, growing up in Florida. So that was cool for me, I thought.
Yeah, and like, Ice Cube performing
a great,
good time,
a legend in terms of rap.
Some of the fans, the people that were there, were enjoying the hell out of it, despite what you see on the internet. There were some older people that were trying to enjoy it, but looked very awkward doing it. It was very interesting. But this is awkward because that was my champ of the week too.
Oh,
but
like
I
yeah,
mean, it's just because they put on a great show that, I mean, I think everybody, when they heard that this was gonna happen, was a bit skeptical. But like as it went on, you see the track being constructed. Like I thought it was gonna be basically exactly what it was, and that was good. And they sold a lot of tickets. They got a lot of TV viewers. 4 million people turned into a preseason exhibition NASCAR race.
yeah.
Over 4 million people.
And like I said, like, no, I will go out and say, am I going to watch more NASCAR races because of this? No.
But there's people out there that might.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal of it.
Yeah.
Even if, like, there's 50,000 plus people there. Even if 1,000 of them stick around, that's a good thing.
Oh, God, yeah. And like I said, for me, it's an achievement to get me to sit down to watch a NASCAR race for the full length of it.
It is.
Like, it is.
You should watch Daytona, though, and then go back into your hole.
I probably will watch
of not
Daytona.
watching NASCAR.
Just because, like, Daytona falls on a day where, again, it falls on, like, there's no... It's a literal dead zone for sports.
At that time, I don't even think... I think the Winter Olympics are over.
Yeah.
Just barely, but I think they will be. And NFL, the Super Bowl's going to be over the week prior. Who's watching regular season NBA and NHL?
Yeah.
Like, it has all the makings of what could be a very, very well-watched NASCAR race here in Daytona. And the tickets are already sold out. So that's a good thing.
Okay. So you're done. You don't have anything else to add for your champ of the week?
It's just I was going in with kind of tempered expectations about this event. Like, I wanted it to be good, and I think it was. For what it was. What did I call this in a message with you? Meaningless farce of a demolition derby masquerading as a race.
Yes.
And it was great, and that's exactly what it should be.
Yeah.
It's just a preseason exhibition, fun little drive around a football stadium.
And so I didn't really watch any of the last chance qualifiers or anything, or the heats, but everything about the main event, from driver intros by Gus Johnson, which was incredible. Dumbass Joe Buck appeared, said a thing.
Yeah, he introduced the Grand Marshals, which was very strange.
Everything about this, like, was fun, and if NASCAR did something like this again, I would probably check it out. Again, yeah. Odds of me watching, like, I'll probably watch Daytona just because I watch the majority of Daytona anyway, unless I'm busy.
You can watch, like, Road America.
Yeah, I'll watch the road courses.
Minus the Roval, because fuck the Roval.
Yeah.
We don't need the Roval anymore. Take it off the schedule.
Please.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 legitimate road courses now? Because there's Sonoma, right. Sonoma, Watkins Glen, Road America, Circuit of the Americas, and I don't know if Mid-Ohio's on the schedule. I know it's on the Xfinity schedule, but I don't know if it's on the Cup schedule.
I don't think it's on the Cup schedule.
I'll have to look. I'll look that up while you're going over your chump of the week here.
So I have 2 chumps of the week.
Oh no.
Number 1 I talked about earlier in Stupid People Say Stupid Things. Kind of. I alluded to it. The Ohio State University Athletic Department.
Oh boy.
For this what in my eyes is a farce that has gone on the past 6 months with the field design for Ohio Stadium for the football field, the new turf design, that farce. Jordan, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Because this is what I compared this to when you and I were talking about this, when they announced that the field was going to be basically the exact same.
Okay.
How long has WWE been saying Veer Mahan's coming to Raw?
Can actually provide you an exact date if you give me a second.
Okay. Yep, go ahead.
Where is the first?
Go ahead.
October 25th.
So, okay, fair. About 5 months. A little under 5 from this date, from today.
Yep.
Try 6 months. That's how long this field design contest had been going on.
Veer will take 6 months
And then
to
pass
at
it.
least to come to Raw. Hashtag Veer coming.
Still swimming from
He's-
home.
He's swimming from India. He's on Twitter though.
He doesn't even live in India. He's lived in like Florida for the past 10 years.
Right. Well, don't tell WWE that. You know, if you're Indian or if you're anything other than American, that's your gimmick,
Yeah.
which is terrible. But
Yeah. 6 months in. On Sunday, the contest ended Friday. On Sunday, they announced the final entrants. And other than like 4 of them, the final entrants were all so outlandishly unbelievable. They threw just enough in the final entrance group that you were like, okay, this is believable. They threw there was, I think, let's see. Oh, please.
the Cup Series does not race at Mid-Ohio, by the way.
12. There was 48 final entrants.
Jesus.
And 48 final entries in the Ohio State field design contest. There were, let's see here. Look.
And most of them were massive ass.
Yeah. Unbelievable. 2, 3, 4. 5. I see 5. That would be like believable.
Goodness gracious.
5 that I would
Some of those were just flat out
6. I'm sorry, I see 6 that are believable. Realistically, if you wanted to, even though this one has a gray end zone, 7. 8 really believable ones. They threw just enough believable ones out of the 48. They're like, okay, yeah, this is still believable. This is still legit. And then Monday, you just give us the same thing.
Same old, same old.
Which, again, I even tweeted about this on Tuesday morning. I don't hate it. I like it. But
It's hard to hate it. It's just simple.
yeah, it's classic. But why go through this 6-month-long farce?
To change a font.
Yeah. Which right now, that's what, to me, it appears like, is it was just a 6-month-long farce, and you already had your own design planned. And I saw a couple people on Monday after they announced they unveiled the winning field, which was, if you go and look at this at the field design, it was 9 any of those entries, and it was 48 final entries.
I noticed that.
And someone said that. I didn't think of it at first. Someone said that and it was like, just seeing that this wasn't even in the final entries and then looking at all the final entries again, it seems like the university never planned on using someone's design.
Like, there's not even one that's close.
No. And then my second chump of the week.
There's one close, but not close enough.
Yeah. My second chump of the week. This one makes me laugh almost because of what happened here, the story behind what happened here.
Oh.
The other day, I believe it was Saturday, actually. Maybe not Saturday. It may have been I think it was Thursday. Last Thursday, Chad Ochocinco was in Vegas.
Okay.
Hanging out for the Pro Bowl. Chad Ochocinco in the morning, Thursday morning, tweeted out, "Hey, any of the Pro Bowl players want to go hit up IHOP for breakfast?"
As one does.
Here are some of the players that Chad Ochocinco tweeted at. Trayvon Diggs of the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Deebo Samuel of the San Francisco 49ers.
All right.
Those are the only two that I have 100% right that I have saved. I know there was a few more that he did publicly add on Twitter, trying to be like, "Yo, let's do this. Let's go have a good time. Let's go get some breakfast, hang out, have a good time." Chad Ochocinco, by the way, said he was going to pay for this.
All right.
He heard from nobody.
Oh. That's terrible. Come on.
You have, and this isn't even bias in my opinion, Chad Ochocinco is an all-time great receiver. Definitely an all-time Bengals great. Who at some point I do believe will be in the Hall of Fame.
Probably so.
Even though he has been a bit of a head case. He will at some point be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
More than likely.
You have somebody who, especially some of these younger guys like Deebo Samuel, even, like, why not take up this offer and go pick someone's brain who was in the league for 2001 till 2012.
Long little while.
From 2001 to 2012. Why not go pick his brain?
Can't do bad things.
Yeah. And to not even respond? Like, what? Come on. And the people, oh, well, it's an IHOP. So?
Hey, IHOP's great.
Pancakes, free. It's free breakfast, for fuck's sake. Like, you could sit and say, yeah, maybe I'm nitpicking, and I kind of am a little bit. But hey, Ochocinco, if this ever gets to you, hit me up. Come up to Michigan. We'll go get some breakfast and we'll play golf on my dime.
I was gonna say, I guarantee you'd pay for Ochocinco's golf.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't let you, but
Probably not, but
too bad.
I don't get it. And then the reason that he was given, because a few people did eventually get back in touch with him. Oh, you wanted to go to breakfast too early.
What time? Wait a minute. This is tweeted at 10 a.m.
Yeah. It's like the entire.
Anybody know where the Pro Bowlers are staying? I'm going to their hotel to wake them up so we can go to IHOP for breakfast.
We're tweeting this at 10 a.m.
I mean, even I'm up at 10 a.m. I mean, the dude's got 3.2 million followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
NFL great. And you can't find. None of these young guys can't get up and go have breakfast with him and learn something. It'd be like, I mean, different, but almost the same as like if Ray Lewis, hey yo, anyone want to go get breakfast? And no one fucking responded to him.
A little bit.
Or Ed Reed. I mean, yeah, you're looking at you're talking first ballot Hall of Famers at that point, but still. And your chump of the week, like my two chumps of the week were just essentially nitpicky and frustration. Yours is extremely legitimate. If it's the one that I believe it is.
It is.
Okay, go.
My chump of the week, former Chelsea defender, currently with West Ham United.
Check the tables.
I knew that'd come up. Current West Ham United defender, Kurt Zouma.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how this footage came out. It looked like somebody put it on their Snapchat of somebody that obviously knows Kurt Zouma because they're in his house or somebody's house, and they're chasing around his cat.
Yep.
At one point, Kurt Zouma picks up said cat and drop kicks it into the fridge.
Yeah.
They chase it around a little while longer. Cat's running for its goddamn life. At some point, somebody grabs the cat and puts it on the table before Kurt Zouma smacks it 5 feet away.
Yeah.
What are we doing? And the worst part, okay, so the worst part is obviously what he did. But after the fact, there will be no criminal charges over the incident.
Oh, there's an even worse part.
The apology?
No. Well, yes, but no.
Oh, no. Because I have the apology here. I'll read that in a second. What's worse?
David Moyes.
Oh, no.
Deciding to also just not punish him for this. In fact,
he's West Ham's manager?
Yeah. In fact, Kurt Zouma started today.
Oh, God.
Or yesterday, whatever day.
Yeah, that's terribly bad. I guess it's yesterday now, or
yeah,
2
yesterday.
days ago now.
Tuesday. Started Tuesday.
2 days ago now. We just hit midnight. Goodness gracious. The bullshit apology from Kurt Zouma. I want to say how deeply sorry I am to anyone who was upset by the video. I would like to assure everyone that our 2 cats are perfectly fine and healthy. They are loved and cherished by our entire family, and this behavior was an isolated incident that will not happen again. That doesn't look like love and cherished to me.
I mean, yeah. It definitely won't happen again because both of his cats have been taken into custody.
Good. I mean, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? Other than just torture small animals.
Yeah, that's it.
Like there's nothing else. I couldn't believe that video when it came out. The apology, no charges coming for him. People just forget about it. Some people, anyway. And I'm sure there's some people out here that could have made it into stupid people saying stupid things that are probably defending Kurt Zuma.
David Moyes.
Well, yes. But like people on social media that will just blindly, stick up for players on a team that they're a fan of just because they're a fan of that team, just completely ignoring the wrongdoings or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Kurt Zuma was on Chelsea for however fucking long. Not gonna do it.
I saw this. I was like, what the fuck?
Like, what? He legit drop kicked his cat.
Yeah.
God. But that's all I got on Kurt Zuma. Very chumpy, very shitty.
And he is a
Loser.
Asshole, but also loser.
Okay. I don't have a soundbite for that one.
Well, maybe we need one.
Right. It's time for one for the road.
Yeah, that it is. That it is. What? What are we gonna tell people to watch? What else is there?
Sunday, February 13th.
This is a true one for the road because we have the same one.
February 13th. Happening in Scottsdale, Arizona. At TPC Scottsdale.
Damn. Oh man, we're not on the same page. My one for the road was Hawks Celtics.
Darn it. As much as I love the Waste Management Phoenix Open at TPC Scottsdale.
That is a very fun tournament.
As much as I love that. Especially hole 16 there.
Thursday through Saturday.
Watch it Thursday through Saturday. That's honorable mention.
And it might, well, with the time difference, it probably won't be over by the time the Super Bowl starts. So you watch a little bit on Sunday, maybe.
Yeah, that's honorable mention.
Fair enough. I don't even have an honorable mention. It's definitely not Hawks Celtics.
The only reason I have an honorable mention is because I just happened to know it was this weekend because I got something today or this week would be 25 years since Tiger Woods a hole-in-one on 16 there.
Oof.
That extremely iconic hole-in-one on 16. Today's.
I mean, if for anyone who's ever watched golf, I feel like hole 16 at TPC, what is it? Scottsdale.
Scottsdale, yep.
I feel like hole 16 is just one of the most iconic holes anywhere.
Yeah. I really wish it didn't fall on this week and I could make it my one for the road. But I can't.
Right. Can't do it. I mean, Hawks Celtics is too good.
Yeah, that. So good.
Or honorable mention, Timberwolves Pacers.
Okay. Sunday, February 13th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on, I believe, NBC.
NBC and Peacock.
And Peacock, okay. Super Bowl 56. Bengals.
Super Bowl LVI.
Rams. Apparently, all of a sudden, Cam Akers is questionable for the Super Bowl.
I mean, the way he's playing the playoffs, that might be a good thing for the Rams.
I wanted to make sure what channel it was on.
How the hell that happened?
I don't know. I was looking at the injury. I scrolled down, looked at injury list, and saw Cam Akers questionable as of yesterday.
Oops.
See, NBC in Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium, Inglewood, California. That is one for the road because, well, we
have the same one for the road.
Oh my God, I have news for next week already.
Uh-oh.
When did this? Oh God, it could have been news for today, but it didn't. So it's gonna be next week.
So we got
bad news already.
Uh-oh.
It's not great news, but
injury report for this game is all over the place.
That is.
Van Jefferson questionable, Tyler Higbee questionable, Cam Akers, as you said. Offensive tackle, this name is phenomenal. Joe Noteboom with a chest injury. And what's interesting here is what now?
Nipple.
God. No. Please no. What's interesting here is that I don't see Taylor Rapp on this. So that's something. And then for the Bengals, CJ Uzama is apparently questionable. Hakeem Davis Gaither. Well, he's on IR. Guard Jackson Carmen, linebacker Joe Bocci is on IR.
Yes, that I knew.
Linebacker Jordan Evans on IR. So not a lot questionable there for the Bengals, just Uzama.
CJ Uzama is actually going to be playing.
I figured he would be.
He did say, the Bengals did say he was going to be playing.
I figured. I mean, are you going to keep him out of the Super Bowl? Come on. Over here on the CBS picks, Bengals are actually getting 4.5.
Oh.
Not like it matters, but I'll lock my pick in there anyway. I'm down 6.
I don't think it's going to help.
No. Can't even get to 150 correct picks on the year. I'll be one short if the Rams win.
Rip.
What? Anything else to add before we get the hell out of here?
No. I was just, unfortunately, starting to write up news for next week's show.
Oh God, where did you find this? What is
ESPN?
What? Oh no.
Yeah. So with that being said, this show went a little longer than I thought it would. We're almost at 3 hours.
Right.
I want to go to bed. We're gonna wrap up, get out of here, go to bed.
Super Bowl week, big week. Next week, not a lot going.
Yeah.
Talk some Olympics, maybe. Talk some, maybe Daytona 500, maybe.
Yeah, depending on where we're at.
Right. Unless this is a heavy news week, I'll probably mention it.
So with that being said, we will see you guys Friday for a Super Bowl edition of Backdoor Cover.
First backdoor cover in over a month.
Yeah. First time we've had a legitimate reason to do one.
Right, yeah.
So
that show would have been like a half hour lately.
Yeah.
This time, well, who knows?
Yeah. So with that being said, fuck Dan Snyder.
Fuck Dan Snyder. I just hope both teams have fun.
I hope the Bengals win.
I don't know.
I hope Chad Ochocinco finds someone to have breakfast with.
I mean, he's got to, right?
At some point.
I mean, who's turning down IHOP? Come on now.
Like someone. Chad, fly me out. I'll come have IHOP with you.
That's somebody had breakfast with this man.
Like, come on. So with that being said, everybody, we will see you Friday for Super Bowl edition Backdoor Cover. Peace out. Stay classy until then. See ya.
Ew.